Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Really cool game review for everybody today. Yeah, Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah.
Before we get into it, there will be spoilers ahead, and this was recorded, all the footage you're seeing, on a PlayStation 4 Pro. Yeah, so what did you think about Shadow of the Colossus? I know this is your most recent game that you've beaten.
To be honest, it's difficult.
Yeah.
Oh, and you have to tell me how to do it. Otherwise, I don't think I can find any clue by myself. How to beat every single class.
Yeah, I will say with this game, I've played it on PlayStation 2 and beaten it there. I've played the remaster on PlayStation 3 a couple of times, and I've beaten the game twice on the PlayStation 4 Pro. So I've beaten the game 5 times total. And this was Yajing's first time playing Shadow of the Colossus. So there were some moments where you needed a little bit of help.
A little bit?
Yeah. Let's tell them what the game's about first.
Yeah. The game is talk about a young man. He wants to... His lover passed away. He wants to take her life back again.
Yeah. He's trying to bring her back, and he makes a deal.
With the god or demon?
Yeah. In the beginning of the game, I'm curious what you think, but you kind of think it's this positive thing that you're making a deal with. No, you didn't think that?
I don't know. First I just like, why he wants to bring her back?
Yeah, Jing literally was like, just she's gone. Like, leave her like that.
Yeah, just let her go. Yeah. You go home. Here's the view, it's beautiful. I think she will like it.
Yeah, and this is a Famitsu Ueda game. And for those of you that don't know, Famitsu Ueda and Team Ico, they made Ico. They made Shadow of the Colossus, and they made The Last Guardian. So not a lot of games, but the catalog of games are roundly considered some of the most classic games of all time. And this game is right up there at the top of the list for most people. And yeah, I really think of it as this story of pure love, where no matter what the main character has to go through, he'll do it to bring his true love back to life. But Yajing right away was like, just let her go. Let her go. Anyway, the deal he strikes with this demon is he has to defeat 16 of these massive colossi that are roaming the land, and only then can he bring her back to life, but he is warned that the price he will pay will be great. So with that setup, it's definitely a very unique game. There are no other enemies in the game either.
No, you by yourself. And a horse. Yeah,
your trusty horse.
Acro.
Yeah. And the horse itself was a really great invention, the way it controlled and everything back in PlayStation 2 times. But what did you think about playing with Agro and kind of roaming the land together?
Very cool. And they show the way how you find your own direction is you need to, under the sunshine, and raise your sword. Yeah. And we'll hold the square, and we'll see the light, and then you turn your camera and see the direction. All the lights focus to one direction. That's the way you go. Yeah. Yeah, it's super unique, and I can't really think of many games like Shadow of the Colossus where there really are only boss battles in the game, and they're not your typical bosses. There are a couple of small ones in the game, but generally speaking, they're massive bosses, and you have to find their kind of weak spots
And to do that is a puzzle in and of itself.
Yeah, and then also you need to know how to use your environment to help you be the monster.
Yeah.
I call them monster.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's fair.
Yeah, so without you telling me the tips, I don't think I can get it. And they are big.
Yeah.
And the last one is huge.
Yeah, the last one's kind of like a building, actually.
It is.
Yeah, you have to scale it like you're climbing up a building, and yeah, it's definitely the largest boss I've ever fought in a game. And it's also really complicated, really having to perfect all of the moves you learn in the game. And I think it's another moment to just share that there's no tutorials in this game. You have to learn everything through playing.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty rare for games, especially nowadays. You know, if you've ever played any of the Uncharted games, or as you know, Yajing likes the Judgment games. I remember in Lost Judgment even, there's these signs telling you kind of jump this way, and they're just painted on the walls.
Yeah, but in this game, you have to find out your own way to how to fight it.
Yeah.
Yeah, or you can Google it.
Yeah. But I will say, you know, even after beating the game 5 times, it's been a couple of years since I played and beat Shadow of the Colossus last time. I was stumped a couple of times because they are very intricate. You have these colossi that look like horses. You have colossi that look like birds. You have colossi that look like snakes, and they're anywhere from under the water to in the sky to on the ground, and sometimes you actually have to go underground to kind of get these or trick the colossi. And it's all based on just having a bow and arrow and this kind of ancient sword on you, and a horse. Like, those are really the only 3 things you need.
Yeah, so that's why I just like this game is a little bit too difficult to me, because I have no idea how to use those weapons, plus the environment, jump, you know. Yeah. And then also you need to use the horse to beat the monster.
Yeah, totally true. But with that said too, let's just take a moment and talk about the graphics. The version you're seeing right now is the remake of Shadow of the Colossus, and it's running on the PlayStation 4 Pro. Beautiful game.
Very beautiful graphic.
Yeah, you know, especially after having played the original and then the remaster on PS3, I was a little hesitant. Like, why are they even remaking this game for PlayStation 4? Because it looks great. It always looked great. It didn't run well on PlayStation 2, but the PS3 kind of remaster of it ran very smoothly. But then once you actually boot this up and play it, well, you can see for yourself, it's a beautiful game.
It is very beautiful. They have forest, they have desert, they have lake, mountains,
yeah,
caves.
Yeah, they even have like geysers in the game.
Yeah, underground. Yeah, so many different.
Yeah, even these like old buildings that kind of are crumbling. Very, very beautiful, and the graphics are just really stellar. And I think they did a great job of bringing the original to the newer systems.
Yeah, and back to the story, I want to talk about, I think after we beat the second one, I already asked my question. It's like, what these monsters did wrong?
Yeah, yeah.
The character has to kill them to bring his lover back to life. Is that fear? You hurt someone else to protect the one you love.
Yeah, and she was right on point, because you begin to notice as the game goes on further that the character's being kind of poisoned in a way by these souls. Every time you kind of down one of these colossi, their souls enter the main character's body,
Yeah.
and they watch over him.
Yeah.
And
Like shadows.
yeah, and the more you down, the more shadows kind of form.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the game, you actually grow horns, like the main character from Ico, the first game from Fumito Ueda.
Oh, I haven't played that game yet.
Yeah.
Interesting. You know, it's the price
Mm-hmm.
you have to pay.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get something, you always have to pay a price.
Mm-hmm.
The price is too much, and you cannot get a happy ending.
Yeah.
Like after you bring her back, you guys can be back together, happily after ever, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you become a monster.
Yeah.
The character, I mean.
Yeah, he becomes this demon that he made the deal with.
Yeah.
Like the demon's finally formed, and yeah, it's not a happy ending kind of game.
Very sad.
Mm-hmm.
Sad ending. So that's why I don't know why the beginning of the game I already feel this way.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So that's why I was joking, but half me was serious. Like, why do this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that just is great game design too.
Yeah.
Because as far as storytelling goes, if you've played any of Fumito Ueda's games or Shadow of the Colossus, you know it's not like there's actually a lot of story in the game. You actually have to beat quite a few bosses before you start learning anything extra. And then you slowly learn that it's really taking a heavy toll on the main character. And while he's alive, before the end of the game, he sees his best friend, who he thinks dies. Agro, the horse.
Yeah. Agro.
Yeah.
Agro.
Yeah. And that's really the only other character in the game, is this horse. And right before you go to the final boss, he falls.
He sacrificed himself.
Yeah.
The character, and it was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. And yeah, I think with that said too, the sound design in the game is really good. It's this sweeping kind of orchestral scores that kind of permeate the music, whether you're fighting one of the colossi and the music gets louder, and you really feel this sense of like epicness as you're playing, that you're not just fighting like a small enemy, it's not like a fist fight, you're taking down these massive living beings, one after another, and it's very somber after you do one of each of the bosses.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely very unique.
Very unique game. And after Akuro sacrificed himself for the character, and I just feel like, he was being with this character the whole game, almost the whole game.
Yeah.
And you love it's like your partner. You lost your partner.
Yeah.
It's very touching.
Yeah.
It's very touching me.
Yeah.
It's even more touching me than a girl.
Wow. I believe it though. The first time I saw the scene with Agro, before you get to the final boss, it's almost emotional, because that you've been alone in this barren land, and it's a massive open world that you're exploring.
Very big world.
Yeah, and the only other kind of character in the game that has helped you in any way, shape, or form is the horse. So yeah, when the horse sacrifices himself, it's done, and you know that you're alone. And literally the final boss is the hardest boss in the game. Very, very powerful, and you have to have a strategy to even approach it. But yeah, without your partner there, it definitely seems very lonely.
So that's why in the game I like to call Agro Alcohol, you feel someone is with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though it's an animal, and then he responded. He always come to you.
Yeah, but yeah. With that said, at the end of the game, you turn into the demon, like Yajing mentioned, and you are basically cast into the end of your life as you know it. At the very end, your love interest in the game does wake up, but when she wakes up, you're not there anymore.
No, you sacrifice yourself.
Yeah.
And you become something else.
Yeah, you become a demon baby. Yeah, it's really wild, but Agro does survive, and he's injured, but yeah, he kind of goes and lives on the top of this tower in the Forbidden Lands with your love interest, and she takes you as a baby, and yeah, you're left just kind of amongst these animals on the top of this tower. And it seems like an analogy for just being good to other people in life. That's one of my big takeaways that I get from the game, is just be good to other people, even if you have this kind of end that you want to meet. If you have to hurt others in order to do it, it's not worth it. You have to really think about things to take care of everyone.
Yeah, when you can. Don't. Yeah, it's good.
All right. Well, I think with that, we're ready to give our review scores. So, out of 5 stars, what would you rate Shadow of the Colossus?
I want to give 4.
4?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, for me, this is a first. Shadow of the Colossus is easily a 5 out of 5 star game for me. It's perfect in my view. It has a little antiquated gameplay from the PS2 era, but I really, really enjoy this game, and there's a reason that I've beaten it 5 times, and sat through and helped Yajing on kind of the 6th playthrough of the game, and it's because it's a game I like coming back to. It's definitely very unique in all its own. And yeah, I think that leaves us with a 4.5 out of 5 star review.
Oh, I give 4.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm curious to hear what everybody else has to say.
Yeah. Have you played this game before? And how you think about this game? We think it's pretty enjoyable and a very beautiful game, very meaningful story. And so please let us know how you think, and we will see you next time.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by, everybody. And also, travel video at the end of the week. Please stop by and check it out. But yeah, we'll see you in the next one, and thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, see you.
Bye.